Yes, that's right. It's apparently time for a hamster dance. Of course it's Debbie and Lucy. What the hell else would it be? I mean, if it were Debian KFreeBSD, it would still be Debian. Is Debian KFreeBSD actually maintained? There was a Debian KNetBSD for all of like 4 minutes that I was vaguely interested in, but Debian KFreeBSD. So FreeBSD, I have no interest in FreeBSD because it seems like of all the BSDs, the one that is most trying to just be Linux. And honestly, like, once you've got the entire Debian user land on top of it, like, why would I care what kernel? No longer a thing. Yep, that's unsurprising. I need to recall what state I actually left this in. Debian herd. That's cute. Failed to log. What do you mean failed to log into cloud storage? Por qué? Did I accidentally press cancel instead of continue or something? They move the cancel and continue buttons back and forth. What the? Pardon? What's going on? Like every other dialogue, it's like cancels on the left, then the right, then the left. Okay, it worked. No, it didn't work. Yeah, that's what it's named, Lucy. You know what? I'm not going to fight this. I'm just going to save it in a local directory. I will deal with whatever the hell that is later. Okay. Yep, good. And I think that ennui is just as much a word in English as any of the thousands of words we borrowed from French. I don't know why so many people give special status to ennui like it is a French word more so than resume is, or any of the other thousands of words that we borrowed from French. Oy vey. This was just not the thing I wanted to be debugging today. I knew that this needed debugging, but this is not something to be on-screen debugged. It's just boring stuff. Let me stop doing that. Let me just try this again. I guess I could just use Dropbox. I don't know why I'm insisting on using the one that's causing me problems. Okay, whatever is going on there. Let's try Dropbox. Oh, piff. I have an actual Dropbox account, apparently. Yes, annoy is a cognate of ennui. Because in most languages, boredom and annoyance are not considered distinct emotions, but in English, they usually are. I'm logging into Dropbox in the background, which is why you're currently not seeing anything on my screen, because I don't want to accidentally show any passwords or anything like that. Well, of course, what I'm currently doing is waiting for we sent a code to your email. Enter the code to continue. Okay. So I'm just not going to fight whatever is going on with Google Drive right now. I should be able to achieve the same goal with Dropbox, and that will be less horrendous. An incredible 2 gigabytes of space available on Dropbox. And ennui is considered a more romanticized word. I would say it just has a different meaning. Well, now I'm very confused. Yeah. It's so like if you are bored because you just don't have anything to sort of. Oh, I see what happened. I'm not on the beta branch right now. If you're bored because you just don't have anything to sort of keep yourself entertained right now, then you're bored. If you're bored because life is a pointless series of events punctuated by tragedy, then you have ennui. Okay. Server in the correct branch. Hopefully it's taking so long to load because it's communicating with Dropbox. But possibly... Well, it's not having an error. That's something. Or at least it hasn't said anything about an error. Welp, let's fight this bullshit instead of doing anything I wanted to do. Actually have the console open from the beginning just in case. Oh, okay. I know what's happening. I know exactly what's happening. So it needs to show the the login button when the login button is needed. And in all of my twiddling about, I almost certainly broke the ability to show the login button. So, yeah, so if it needs transient activation, then it is giving the iframe. Okay, but I just stuck it to the body. I So where is it? If it's just on the body, it should be showing somewhere. I mean, it'll be ridiculous, but it should be there. 320 by 0. Certainly won't be visible if it's 320 by 0, will it? Well, that's totally botched. Okay. Levels, layers of debugging. Yay! Interesting. Let me test a theory here. Because I did have to change where I put it, and where I'm putting it now is 1000% wrong. So what if I do put it on the download box? That's where it ultimately should be, but it's just not working there because stupidity. Okay, why isn't it getting any size information? Maybe I need to give the iframe some kind of default size. Like maybe if it's visibility hidden, it's just going to do something ridiculous. Because it should be that anything, like the iframe is invisible, but it's still, it has a size. That's obviously nothing like the right way to do this, but iframes are very, very annoying because it's like I would just like my own CSS to sort of promulgate through, but that's just not how any of this works. Man, what is happening? What is happening inside of this iframe? Let us dig into the iframe. There's an iframe in the iframe. Yep. So yep, this is just a fixed location using the entire iframe. The iframe itself. What? Oh, because yeah, okay, I already changed that. That's misleading. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. Man, trying to show a button via an iframe is like shockingly hellacious. Okay, so within the iframe that has a perfectly sensible width and height, this has a perfectly sensible width and height, and yet the width and height that was reported to me was 32 by 0. Because I haven't put it anywhere yet. It can't have a size until it exists. I don't understand how this bug came to be, because this code used to work. I don't like when I read code and it's like, well, that definitely never worked, so why did it work? Okay, so that's in the wrong place, as I knew it would be. Was that as expected? I think I install... Yeah. Because that's in the FS subdirectory, it's going to have 2 versions of this. That's annoying. I can't type. Well, that sure as hell didn't work. Does this work directly? Yes. So why doesn't that work in the iframe? What is different about how it's loaded in an iframe? Oh, great! Now I have it. No, now I have a cookie that is logged in, so it just works. That's gonna be hard to debug. Oh dear. Okay. So let's see. Let's continue trucking. I gotta download the audio in MPEG-4 so that I get a .mp4 file, maybe. Slightly horrifying messages from ISMV. Yeah, those are very bad. ISMV being MP4 but spicier. Oh dear, I named it M4A when it's an MP4. Yeah. That sure doesn't look like the timestamps are correct, does it? That looks like profoundly incorrect timestamps. That's what we call a fast boy. Let me download with FLAC just to confirm that that is a file system error. This is just like, this is going to be a millennium of tiny, tiny bug fixes. Getting every weird corner case to work. Oh, God, now that cookie is gone, and this is... let me fix one bug at a time! Is it possible to open the, like, if I do this, will I get the debug console for that separately? I don't think it has the separate console. I think it's the same console. So, like, why is it that if it's not in an iframe, stupidly placed or not, then it's one behavior, but if it's in an iframe, I just get this. Like, this is just, it's a blank page because it's supposed to get from the iframe where it's actually logging in to. Like, OF2 login is just a stand-in, essentially. Is it like an iframe inside of another page that opens a window, can't communicate with the window? Is there some... Oh, is it because the server has cores? Could it be that with cores, an iframe... But the iframe's on a different origin, and the other origin also has cores, and it works fine not in an iframe. This is just so not the bug I wanted to be debugging right now. This is hellacious. This is hellacious. I'm gonna worry about that bug another time. I have other bugs to concern myself with. I have no shortage of bugs. Okay, FLAC, everything, go. Yep, okay, so the video recording timing is correctly coordinated with the audio. Now when I unshare, screen goes black. Okay, so at least I only have a million, like, side unrelated bugs to fix and not the core bug that I thought might still exist. So, great. That feels similar to progress. Okay. An iframe opening a window. It can open the window, but then maybe it can't communicate with the window? Oh, or maybe the Windows opener is considered to be the host frame, not the iframe. So when it tries to communicate back... No, why would they... That doesn't make any sense. Okay, as long as I am not logged in, I should be able to attack this problem. Not a very romantic problem, but, you know, such is life. Oh, dang, that's like libraries within libraries within libraries. Is there a slightly less horrendous way to test this. Maybe I just directly modify the installed... Yeah, it's very stupid, but it'll do. Okay. So it's conceivable that none of these ever happen, that it never even pops open the window. Obviously it pops open the window, that it never gets told that the window is loaded. This is actually Duff's device, isn't it? Yeah. Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, the way that they're compiling down generators and asyncs is Duff's device. What century is it? Then, I mean, just the fact that you've managed to post a message doesn't really mean anything. And then essentially we're hoping to get a message back. Well, just for the sake of it, I'll stick console log here. Obviously, I can't get to that point because it's not even popping open the correct screen, so it's not going to get a response. Nothing. But I didn't even get A, which tells me that I'm not even getting... like, I'm just not getting the console for that. Can I... Aha! That did nothing. Yeah, that just is the context for any JavaScript I enter. It's not doing anything with the console. But it is not possible to get to that point without, because this is the only place where OAuth 2 login is even mentioned, so you know what? If at first you don't succeed, let's see if alerts will make it through. How? What? What's happening? There it is. Oh, great. I've uncookied myself again. Luckily, that cookie only seems to last a couple of minutes. So, in the iframe, it can open the window for reasons I can't even debug. It can't do anything with the window. Okay. I love printf debugging, but I think it's time to take a step backwards and use some good old-fashioned tracing, because this is obviously getting me nowhere. What? This is the same URL on the same domain, and yet somehow when loaded inside of this iframe, it loaded a different cached version than when loading here. I genuinely have no understanding of how that's possible. Try and be cached now, bitch. Yeah, okay. So it never reported it as open. But I wonder if, like, I actually have a valid reference and it just doesn't report as open. That's very frustrating. Is there something I should be using? Well, you know what? No, because it does even let me set these. Well, just having a console.log of it might help, simply to be able to poke around whatever object it is actually giving me. Like, if there's not... It's not even pretending to be a window, whatever the other thing is. Okay, opener is null, though that's not promising. The opener should be me. The window is... Yeah, okay, so even though it's not telling me this is a proxy, this is obviously a proxy because, well, look at it. Oh, closed true. That's bad. Would you like to tell me why you're giving me such a weird pseudo window? Okay, so what do I do if... I need to proxy window opening to the host iframe, because the host iframe is at least allowed to open windows. Yeah, look at this. Closed is false. Well, this is a much different item when you're actually allowed to communicate with Windows. Okay. Which means in order to get that working, I'm going to need to do that at the level of non-local forage. This is going to be rollup. Rollup recently got a high severity thingy on it. So I can have passed into non-local forage options. Come on, Firefox, I believe in you. And I'm reasonably certain that I did actually click the button. Twice. Yeah, fine. I'll take the... How do I get a message back from the window? Like, how simple can I have this window open be for it to just be a pseudo window thing? Oh, God, that's right. It doesn't communicate through window messages, it communicates through storage. Theory. That'll work anyway. It just doesn't tell me that the window is open because security theater. But if I just sort of insisted that it is, it would work. So if it looks like it's instantly closed, then we're just going to say, well, sounds resolved to me, and just try, and I'll bet you it works anyway. What the hell did I have? I accidentally did that in Chrome. I got like totally lost about what the hell I was doing there. Ignore the fact that the iframe continues to open in a very silly location. Nope. Oh wait, it didn't make it to B. Does it not actually show... This console.log is from here, but console log is weird. It's not closed yet. How? If I can't know. So, if this were a window that it's like happy to let me do, then I would have like the client document and such, right? Weird that it thinks that's this document. Let's say I have the client window, whereas I probably do not have the client window for any of these. So that could let me distinguish, maybe. I have the window. I don't. So, oh. Pretty sure I didn't do that, but okay. Why is that in a field called then? Like, you can't just throw an exception into a field called then. That's not how promises work. It has to be because this is an iframe and something about same origin policy with an iframe versus a normal document. The iframe should be sufficiently isolated that none of this matters, but evidently it's not. I mean, it's nice of it to put this error somewhere. It's pretty much the stupidest conceivable place it can put it. Yeah, okay, back to my original plan. I need the host to do the window opening, and then since I'm communicating through storage, I don't actually care about anything else. I just need you to be able to open the window. It's so bizarre that it'll let me open it, but then it won't let me do anything with it. Let me just, let's if I open this from here, do I actually get, like... I think only a redirect flow can do this right. Boy, howdy, did I not want a redirect flow to be involved in this. I have to like think carefully. I sort of I said way earlier, literally months ago, that I needed to like sit down and think about what the flow needs to look like, but that it would be better just to get something working and then worry about whether the flow makes any sense later. And unfortunately, I have now reached the point of something working, but I need to worry about the flow. I can load the front-end file system driver directly so that for things like cloud storage that don't depend on origin, I can just log in from here. But it stores metadata about what to actually use in local storage. I really doubt if I can pass like a local storage handle from one iframe to another. But if I can, that solves literally everything, so it's at least worth the worth making the attempt. It's not going to work, but yeah, okay. Obviously, you can't clone a storage object. Maybe if Arkahat allowed, like maybe there's just this opener thing that you have to, um, let's remind myself of the course headers. I guess this might not, like maybe this would be in window.open really. Like maybe, because definitely, unfortunately I can't avoid this being a separate window. It has to be a separate window. Um, This is exactly what I'm doing. Like, I don't actually want... I am just using post message because I know all of this, so... This all feels somewhat busted, like... The same origin policy is applying in a way that doesn't quite make any sense. Because the origin of the inner document is all wrong. The origin of the inner document is the same as the origin of this document. This is so busted. Then should not be whatever the hell this is. What if I do that from this context? Okay. So is there anything that I can do with this? I mean, post message exists. So it should be that I just have to post message OAuth to auth URL. Doesn't really matter what, I'm just going to go to Google, because I'm just trying to see whether it's actually posting message. Yeah, it's like blocking me from actually managing to communicate, even though that's the entire means by which you do cross-origin communication. Do you need to, like, specifically tell it that that's your intention, or? There's no way this is going to make any difference, but I'm going to tell it no opener. I already written no opener somewhere, apparently. I rate the probability of this helping at 0. I don't at all understand what just happened. Because I made it to B, which is here. But if this... That's not what I needed. Yeah, like if that crashed... How is it conceivable that I made it to B? Nothing... Nothing makes any sense. A, and then this crashes, and this is supposed to be what unlocks getting to B, but somehow I got to B anyway. I mean, yeah, with no opener, it returns null, which, like, fine, but sure doesn't make it very easy for me to communicate with it, does it? It does not say anything here about... Oh, and returns null, okay. It does say that exactly, doesn't it? Is it... Is it conceivable that it was me attempting to set onload, on air, and on close that caused it to be like, how dare you! Don't you touch these properties! No. I'm so confused. So what is it? It must be post message then, but it's so bizarre that it's like... that it doesn't, like, post message doesn't throw an error or anything. It just sort of makes the behavior go completely nuts. Auth window. Okay. The message never made it, so whatever else is true, that's busted. If I... Let's try something obviously nonsensical. If I had the OAuth2 login page on this origin instead of this origin, like if this works at all, then it would be utterly wrong. Origin? Yeah, okay, because this is the origin. It is inconceivable that I'm violating the same origin policy, and yet here I am. You know what I haven't done? Just try searching for that particular weird, badly presented error message. I didn't. I didn't do it, though. It's the same origin. Well, I don't have that set. Well, I've made negative progress today. Seems like a great place to end. Wee! Stream